Yeah, they got to build up like the Creed universe.
Well, exactly right. I mean, it would make sense if George Lucas took the Star Trek music from Star Wars. He had to build his own, and he had to start somewhere. So Creed has to start somewhere. And hey, they're piggybacking on one of the greatest characters of American film history ever. So
definitely,
it's a good lead-in.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be great.
Well, I was dead set against it. I was not a fan when I heard it late last year. Not late last year, probably last spring, maybe last summer. I was like, no, it's never going to happen. No way, no way. And then slowly but surely, I started hearing things and seeing things, and I'm like, jeez, this is not going to be good. Who wants to see Rocky with cancer? I certainly don't want to see Rocky with cancer. But then, this final week that I had in Philly, and I got to talk with a lot of people on set, from the director to the stand-ins to the key grips, Stallone's assistant, Kevin King. I watched. There was a lot of filming that we actually got to watch firsthand, and then what we couldn't see, I heard, and I thought, okay, this is convincing me. I can see where this is going to work. So really the only unknown factor for me is Michael B. Jordan, and he was a very nice man, very nice guy. I think he's going to do it. I think he is.
Well, that's really cool. Yeah, I think he's got a good shot.
Yeah, I do too. And now, are you more of a Rocky guy or more of a Rambo guy?
I'm both.
Are you really?
It's just I took the Rambo road first. I'm thinking about doing maybe a Rocky show when this one ends.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think
we have a little tie-in with Rambo in this movie. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No, not yet.
Graham McTavish plays Tony Bello's manager and trainer.
Oh my God! I just found out about the Tony Bello this week. I think it was.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I was like, I saw it on Total Rocky, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, Holly Jonas over at Total Rocky. I love her. She's been such a great supporter of mine. I think she's brilliant what she does. She's so good, and she puts in such long hours on that website.
Yeah,
she's a trooper, man. She's a true blue fan.
Yeah, it's really, really cute. Like awesome.
You know what's funny too? We were. I knew Graham was going to be there, and of course, anyone who when you put this out there, if anyone listens to it and they don't know who Graham McTavish is, he was the guy in Rambo, John Rambo, the last Rambo, where live for something, die for nothing. Rambo holds the bow and arrow at his face. He was the mercenary that was harassing Rambo.
Yeah.
And so Graham, I was going from the top floor of the Victor Cafe where we were, staying most of the time. I was coming down the bottom of the steps, and he's just standing there talking to somebody, and I didn't recognize him at first because he had a big, thick, white beard, all like a giant goatee, and he was dressed very well, and he was eating an apple, and I looked at him for a second, and I said, oh my God, it's Graham McTavish. And I just called him the cranky mercenary. I didn't know his name yet for the show, for Creed. So we did a little bit of an exchange. There was nothing, worth bragging about. But, at that moment, I turned to my wife. I went back upstairs and I said, I just ran to Graham McTavish. She's like, who's that? And I explained to her. And I said, geez. I said, I could have asked him for a picture. He was just standing there, just killing time, really. I said, I didn't think to ask for a picture or to say I loved him in Rambo. Or he was also in another show. He had a 1 or 2 episode in Lost. He played a drill sergeant. I don't know if you're familiar with Lost at all.
I still haven't watched Lost.
Do it. It's worth it. One of the best shows on television in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I heard it was really, really, really good.
So, anyways, that's the Rambo connection with Creed. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is very, very cool.
Yeah,
he's got such an awesome screen presence too, Graham McTavish.
He really does.
There,
Yeah, he really's got some good vibes. I like him. He's an intense actor, and from what I understand, he's not so much like a Don King. He's kind of like a like a legitimate Don King. He's got a bit of an atmosphere about him that's sort of like Stars and Stripes and very big and everything, but there's also a real part to him. Not a lot of fakeness where we've seen in the Don King-like character from Rocky 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing too. I like the work print for Rocky 5.
Oh, it was definitely better than what we got in the theaters.
I love that cut because it really kind of amped up like the whole brain damage side of Rocky, like the stakes, what was at hand. I felt like even with the fight at the end, it was portrayed in a better way where Rocky was trying to kind of like do the right thing with trying to show Tommy that, you know, there was this evil side and this good side to everything.
Yeah, very much so. I thought he really, when you watch that work print, to me, it was really, really good. I think the only thing that probably would have been a little over the top was seeing Mickey's, not his ghost, but the image of Mickey up on the train tracks of the elevated train. That was the only thing I think that might have been a little too far in the work print. But I love the scene in the bar where Rocky's drunk and he falls down and...
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant scene.
Yeah, like when he's talking about making breakfast and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's powerful. It's just...
Now think about this. What if they had Little Marie? Oh, and they did have the original actress who played Little Marie. She's on the corner, on the barrel, exactly where Rocky said she was going to end up. If she didn't change. And so we couldn't have Little Marie and Rocky Balboa be kind of like an angel on Rocky's shoulder if that print had gone out. So what would have been better? Would Rocky 5 have been better, and then he wouldn't have had the need to do Rocky Balboa?
Yeah,
that's weird, isn't it?
You know, what I would have liked to see in Balboa actually is maybe some like newer scenes with Talia Shire, but like film them like the whole Talia cancer story, and Rocky coping with that, and maybe having flashbacks of that in Balboa.
You know, a lot of fans that I talk to doing my tours and whatnot, a lot of people bring that up, and that is one of the things people kind of, why didn't they do that? And that was more Stallone's call. Talia Shire had wanted that. You know, she wanted this, well, you know, why don't we end up where it's close to where Adrian's dying in the beginning, and then Rocky takes her on a final trip in the van to all their locations, and she dies in his arms on the steps of the pet shop. I thought, okay, that would have been good, but way too dramatic for me. You know, and I guess, you know, Stallone is a very fast storyteller. He likes to get in, get it done, and get out. And I think that's what he did with Balboa. He said instead of spending 15 or 20 minutes with Adrian dying in a hospital bed, let's just open up with Rocky at the graveside.
Yeah. And it was nice too how they had the touch of like him at the old house and Adrian's ghost kind of there.
The tour that he goes around to the location. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we also, I mean, what does he do here? He kills two birds with one stone. He gets to put Adrian back in the movie via flashbacks, and we also see Paulie's bitterness is at like epic levels.
Yeah, they should have also kept the deleted scene with Paulie behind the restaurant.
Oh, the extended scene. Yes, that was a really, really good scene. And you know, that was one of the things Stallone said later. He just felt it was the energy was going up. The positive energy was going up to show Paul breakdown would have brought it back down again. But I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, all right, Stallone's the director and the writer and the icon, and I'm not. But I'm just going to disagree with that particular.
Yeah,
I think that scene would have worked very well.
Well, yeah, because by the end of that scene, it's really positive. It's Paulie's gotten everything out.
Yep, he's got his beast out.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, you know, it gives Rocky that motivation.
His stuff in the basement.
Yeah, that was gold. I love that.
Oh my God! Seriously, I have that saying. I didn't know it'd be all right. The stuff in the basement. I have that on my basement going down to my gym. I have that stenciled right across. I never forget it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rocky 5, like that was like the first one I saw in the theater.
Oh really?
I was like a little kid. and that just blew me away. A lot of people give that movie a hard time, but I was really surprised how it went completely out of the box, and it was, it was different. It wasn't like the standard, how you would think a sequel would progress. It was just kind of like almost like a standalone film in a lot of ways.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's interesting. We're going to do, the guys over at Sly Podcast, they asked me to chime in next month for the Rocky V review. And they usually do about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minute, there's 3 of them, and they bring in guests every so often. And one of the guys was following what I was putting out on Twitter, and I had said, I forgot how it came up, but I said how I would take Rocky V 100 times over Rocky IV, because it's, to me, a far better movie. And they were like, are you crazy? Rocky IV was the best. I said, no, you don't understand. I said, depending on your point of view. I said, when Rocky IV came out, I was almost 18 years old. So at the time, I loved it. It was great. And when I watch Rocky IV, I still love it. But for nostalgia reasons, it takes me back. Rocky IV is a vain, glorious attempt at promoting Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren's physiques. But to me, we see nothing of Rocky in Rocky IV. Where did the guy who scoots across the ice in his shoes trying to impress Adrian, the guy who was talking to his turtles, drinking the raw eggs? You see, this is the man, the character we all fell in love with. Now he's wearing a ridiculous bomber coat, which I happen to own because I love, but it's a ridiculous coat to wear in public, and he's climbing up the sides of mountains. And I'm like, this movie, it's not Rocky. And I said, okay, Rocky V. Rocky V, to me, although you can go on YouTube, and Alberton says, Stallone was a prima donna, and he says he was always on his cell phone in between takes, and okay, I get it, his head wasn't in it, but you could tell, I think Stallone, his acting, his portrayal of brain damage came across more like bad acting or an imitation of Rocky almost that you could see anywhere on YouTube. But I think the story of Rocky V was very, very good.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Right? It was beautiful.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it reinforced the family thing. I think the fact that it came back to Philadelphia and it made a strong showing back in the neighborhood when Rocky got started. I think, that was, to me, I'll take that over Rocky IV any day.
Yeah, and also, like, I found Rocky IV, I love that movie too, but the thing that takes me out of it is there's no Rocky score.
Him and Bill Conti had a little bit of a beef at that time. I'm not quite sure what it was. I just found this out a little while ago. There was some type of a beef, and I don't exactly know what it was. And Stallone decided to go with the music that he went with. And some of it was good. I liked some of it. But, you can go back and watch Rocky 1, and it still holds up because of the music.
Yeah.
The music, it isn't dated. It's not pop current music. It's almost like classical music, that Rocky score. And you can play it today, and you sort of know it's the 70s, but by the same token, it's still right.
Yeah. It's timeless. It really is. That's the perfect word. It's like a timeless.